When you set yourself to find spiritual emotional healing, you enter into a profound and transformative journey. Psalm 25 reads, "Relieve the troubles of my heart and free me from my anguish." These words, penned by the psalmist, resonate with a raw, unfiltered cry for mercy and grace, and they serve as a powerful reminder that in our times of struggle, we can approach the throne of God with unwavering boldness. Spiritual emotional healing is a journey that traverses the landscapes of our innermost fears and deepest sorrows, yet ascends toward the lofty heights of hope and healing. In his words, the psalmist bares his soul, revealing a heart burdened by the weight of countless troubles. His plea is a raw and honest cry for help, an unreserved admission of his dire need for God's intervention. It is a reminder to us all that in our most challenging moments, we do not have to carry our burdens alone. We have a divine refuge, a sanctuary where our cries are heard, our pain acknowledged, and our healing begun. The first step is to acknowledge the reality of our emotional struggles. Life often brings us face to face with trials that seem insurmountable. Whether it is the loss of a loved one, the sting of betrayal, the burden of unfulfilled dreams, or the silent battles waged within our minds, each of us knows the taste of sorrow and the weight of distress. In these moments, it is easy to feel isolated, as if we are navigating the stormy seas of our emotions without a compass or anchor. Yet the psalmist's words remind us that we are not alone. When our hearts are overwhelmed, we can approach the throne of God with boldness and confidence. We can lay bare our struggles and seek his divine aid, knowing that he is both willing and able to lift us out of our despair. This is not a sign of weakness. Rather, it is a testament to our faith. By turning to God in our darkest hours, we acknowledge his sovereignty and his boundless love for us. Why don't people usually turn to God? Because of a problem that all of us have. In our society, we are often taught to mask our pain, to present a facade of strength even when we are crumbling inside. However, look how the psalmist shows us a different way. He does not hide his anguish. Instead, he voices it openly, trusting that God will respond. This act of vulnerability is itself a powerful step toward healing. By expressing our pain, we release the emotional burden that weighs us down, making space for God's comfort and peace to fill our hearts. You need to know that trusting in God has a profound influence on our emotional healing process. It shifts our focus from our problems to the one who holds the solutions. When we trust in God, we are no longer defined by our circumstances. Our identity is rooted in his unchanging love and faithfulness. This trust cultivates a sense of peace and security, even amidst the chaos of life. We begin to see our struggles not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for God to demonstrate his power and grace. Moreover, this trust empowers us to persevere. There will be days when the weight of our troubles feels unbearable, when the light at the end of the tunnel seems distant and dim. But in these moments, our trust in God becomes our strength. We can press on, knowing that he is with us every step of the way, guiding us, sustaining us, and bringing us closer to wholeness. Let me share a story that encapsulates this journey of trust and healing. There was a man who had faced immense hardships. He had lost his job, his home, and his family in a series of tragic events. Every night he would sit alone, his heart heavy with sorrow and his mind clouded by despair. One night, in the depths of his anguish, he remembered the words of this psalm. With tears streaming down his face, he cried out to God, "Relieve the troubles of my heart and free me from my anguish." In that moment of vulnerability, he felt a sense of peace wash over him. It was not an immediate resolution of his problems, but rather a profound assurance that he was not alone. Over the next few months, as he continued to seek God's aid and trust in his plan, doors began to open. He found a new job, reconnected with his family, and gradually rebuilt his life. Through it all, he realized that his trust in God had been the catalyst for his healing. It had given him the strength to persevere and the courage to hope. Please understand this: the path to emotional healing is not always easy, but it is always possible with God. When the troubles of your heart are enlarged, do not hesitate to cry out to him. Approach his throne with boldness, knowing that your cries are heard and your pain is seen. Trust in his love and his power to bring you out of your distress. You are not defined by your struggles, but by your faith in the one who can overcome them. Your tears are precious to God, and your cries for relief are met with his compassion and grace. Allow this trust to be your anchor, your guiding light through the darkest valleys. For in his presence there is healing, in his embrace there is peace, and in his love there is the promise of a brighter tomorrow. You will find solace in these truths and courage in your journey. Your trust in God will lead you to the healing and peace your heart longs for. You will always remember that in your most vulnerable moments, you are held by the one who loves you beyond measure.